Have you ever found yourself in a situation so twisted that doing the right thing meant doing something terribly wrong? What would you do if your spouse's entire livelihood rested on your silence? Or worse, your sacrifice? This is the story of how one woman, me, was cornered into a degrading deal by my husband's boss, only to watch my loving husband turn the tables with a plan so brilliant, it landed his predator boss behind bars. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button if you believe no woman should ever be forced into silence, and subscribe if you believe in justice, no matter how long it takes to arrive. Now let me tell you what happened. It all started 2 years ago when my husband, Daniel, finally got the promotion he had worked so hard for. We were newly married, and life seemed almost perfect. His job at a construction firm paid decently, but when he moved under the direct supervision of the regional manager, Mr. Travis Dalton, things changed. Slowly at first, then all at once. At first, Travis seemed like your typical overachieving executive, charismatic, rich, and slightly too confident for his own good. He was the kind of man who never heard the word no. I met him during the company's end-of-year party, and from the moment he shook my hand, I could feel his eyes lingering. I thought I was imagining things. I wanted to believe I was. But then came the text. At first, they were harmless compliments passed through Daniel. Your wife looked stunning last night. Then direct messages. Hey, just wanted to say how radiant you looked. Don't worry, I won't tell your husband. I showed Daniel, of course. He laughed it off, brushing it aside as harmless flirtation. That's just Travis, he said. He's always like that. But I knew better. Predators don't hunt out in the open. They circle quietly, waiting. Got worse. At one company picnic, Travis found a moment alone with me while Daniel was talking to coworkers. He leaned in and said with a confident smirk, "You know, some women would kill to be in your position, married to a loyal man and admired by someone like me." I didn't even respond. I walked away. But deep inside I felt unsafe. And then one day, Daniel came home looking like a ghost. "Babe," he said, "they're cutting down teams. I might be next." Travis told me today that my numbers weren't looking good. I knew my husband. He was the most hard-working person I had ever met. There was no way his performance was slipping. Something didn't add up. I found out soon enough. The next day, Travis texted me directly. "We should talk. Privately." I should have blocked him. I should have told my husband. But fear took over. We had rent. We had bills. We were planning for a baby. So, I agreed to meet him at a coffee shop during lunch. He didn't waste time. "Daniel's a good worker," he said, sipping espresso like we were discussing the weather. "But you know, in my position I have to make decisions not just with my head, but sometimes with my heart." I stared at him, unsure of what he meant. Then he leaned closer, lowered his voice, and said something I'll never forget. "If you want to help him keep his job, you and I can come to an arrangement." Felt like throwing up. "Are you saying?" He cut me off. "Think about it. One night. No one has to know. Your husband stays employed, and maybe even gets a raise." I stormed out. My hands were shaking. My throat was tight. But at home, I couldn't bring myself to tell Daniel. I didn't want him to suffer. He loved that job. He believed in his team. And most importantly, I didn't want him to blame himself. But then Daniel came home 2 days later, pale and silent. "They're terminating me," he whispered. That night, I cried in the bathroom for hours. I had to choose. Watch our lives fall apart, or sacrifice myself for his stability. So I messaged Travis. "Where?" Type. The hotel room smelled like guilt. He wore expensive cologne and a smirk that made my stomach twist. He poured wine like this was a date. Like this was mutual. It wasn't. I did what I had to do, and when it was over, I went home and showered until my skin burned. Daniel got his job back. And a promotion. Travis even sent him a congratulatory bottle of whiskey. I should have been relieved. But guilt is heavy. It clings. I grew quieter, distant. I avoided eye contact. And my husband, God bless him, noticed. "Are you okay?" he asked one night. Delight. Just tired. But he didn't stop watching. He started coming home early, cooking for me, hugging me tighter. I think he knew before he even saw the proof. And then one night I caught him going through my phone. First I was angry, violated. But he looked up at me with tears in his eyes. I saw the messages, he said. My heart dropped. You knew, I whispered. He nodded. Not at first. But I started digging when you changed. That night I told him everything. I expected him to scream, cry, to leave. Instead he kissed my forehead. You did it for me, he said. Broke. But Daniel wasn't just a loving husband. He was a man who refused to let evil win. I want to make him pay, he said. And he meant it. Over the next few weeks, Daniel transformed from the quiet, loyal employee into a man on a mission. He pretended everything was fine at work, played the loyal subordinate. But secretly, he began collecting evidence. Messages, hotel bookings, voicemails. He contacted a friend, Jerome, a retired detective, who helped him set up legal traps and verify admissibility in court. Jerome warned him, this has to be solid. If he smells a setup, he'll wiggle free. Then came the trap. He told Travis he had a business proposal that could be worth millions. I want to show loyalty, Daniel said. Let's meet. Bring a lawyer if you want. Travis, blinded by arrogance, agreed. They met at a private location, one Daniel had set up with surveillance, with Jerome recording everything. But Travis wasn't there for business. He began talking about arrangements, how favors could move careers, how some wives are smarter than their husbands. He laughed, sipping bourbon. That was all they needed. The recording, along with evidence from texts and emails, was enough to get law enforcement involved. A sting operation followed. Travis was arrested for coercion, blackmail, and workplace harassment. Multiple other women came forward. Turns out I wasn't the first. Just the first to speak. We testified. It was painful, humiliating, but necessary. The courtroom was tense. His lawyers tried to paint me as manipulative. Daniel never left my side. The day Travis was sentenced, Daniel held my hand as the judge read the verdict. 5 years in prison. Cried. Not from sadness, but relief. Because justice, no matter how late, still tastes sweet. So what would you have done in my shoes? Would you have stayed silent and watched your husband suffer? Or would you have taken the fall to protect him? More importantly, would you be strong enough to stand back up and fight? If you believe no woman should ever be forced into submission just to protect a man she loves, smash that like button. If you believe true justice is worth the pain it takes to get there, subscribe for more stories like this. And drop a comment below. What would you have done? Until next time, stay safe and stay strong.